See, the thing about running a live show is the work never really stops, does it? Anyway, so from what I gather, seems like a day 2. Actually, no, it's day 3. An unexpected form. You arrive home to find posts on the mat, most being nothing more than the usual junk. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you open it. Apparently, I'm quite poor at the moment. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. Your name, Alex Winston. Your spouse, Sam Winston. Your children, Charles Winston and Susie Winston. Well, you must at least... you muse. At least they got the basics right. The rest of the questions are left for you to complete. They appear to be mandatory. Question 1. Upon starting a new job, you would be friendly and introduce yourself to your new co-workers, be productive and get to work immediately, ease yourself in and orientate yourself with your new workplace, or reminisce with friends about old jobs. I'll be honest, I'm not a super social butterfly. I think I'd just be productive and get to work immediately. Question 2. A colleague in a different department has confided in you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would help your colleague cover up their violation, recommend that your colleague reports it, promise your colleague that you won't tell anyone, or report the violation to your superior immediately. I think I'd recommend that they report it. I'm not sure I'd go to the supervisor immediately, but I'd be like, hey, if that was you, then like, come on. Question 3. An entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in place new targets that are slightly higher than the previous ones. You would leave work on time, stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline, leave work early and head to the pub to chat about the changes with colleagues, or leave work early and head home to see your family. I think I'd probably just leave work on time. Question 4. It's the annual company barbecue, and you and your family have been invited. You are looking forward to enjoy a nice day out with friends and families, are washing your hair that day. Go if you're free, but wouldn't mind missing it. Have been practicing with your coworkers and think you'll win the talent contest this year. I'll go if I'm free, but wouldn't mind missing it. Question 5. You've had a long, successful career and are now about to retire. In your speech, you list your achievements and all the good memories you have of working there. Give an honest review of the pros and cons of the company. Focus on issues and challenges you faced while working there, or refuse to attend. Refuse to attend my own speech? How does that work? I mean, I know it's the standard answer, but I'd list the achievements and all the good memories. Like these guys don't need a pros and cons list of the company they already work at? That's ridiculous. Question 6. In your spare time, you like to relax alone, doing things like listening to music or making models. Attend political rallies and stand up for what you believe in. Encourage and support your children in their hobbies, or play in your local sports team. We'll go for the first one. Question 7. Your ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by nature, beauty, getting away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar and discovering new experiences and challenges, a structured day out at a theme park bursting with thrills and attractions for you and your family, a romantic getaway with your partner to a tropical island paradise. We'll go with the top one. Question 8. Is it most important that the government keeps people safe, free, happy, or equal? Ooh, ain't this a juicy one? Because these are all actually very legitimate political ideologies, right? And now, obviously, any of them taken to their absolute extreme are not good. You know, I mean, you don't want a police state. You don't want anarchy. You don't want people getting, like, taken to the gulags because they made, like, 10 cents more than their neighbor. happy is harder to immediately say is a bad thing if taken... Well, but I mean, if you're only pursuing happiness at the expense of, planning for the future, or... And I'm not necessarily sure I'd want to be happy and completely and free, so, you know. But among these, I'd go for freedom. Thank you for your cooperation. Advance knows your time is valuable, and we appreciate your help in leading the nation to a brighter future. Okay, I'll sign my name. Day 6. A family matter. Man, do I only go to work like once a week? It's late. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up a favorite coffee cup, a worn-out souvenir of your first trip together. The print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. A knock at the window brings you back to reality. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table, visibly stressed. Chris takes a deep breath. I'm so sorry for bursting in so late, Alex, Chris stammers, but I need a favor, and you're the only one I can ask. No problem. What's going on, Chris? You must have seen all this crazy advanced stuff. The Assets and Wealth Act, they're calling it. Taking people's hard-earned money to fund the lazy. It's bullshit. You've never seen Chris this agitated. I'm not saying the top 1% or whatever don't have stupid money, Chris adds hastily, but they can't afford it. People like me are going to lose everything. Our options here, we've got That's Awful, but I'm not sure how I can help. You are always the well-off one in the family. Or I'm sorry, but taking from the rich to help the poor doesn't sound so bad. I mean, especially in the context of talking to a relative, this bottom one sounds a bit heartless. We'll choose the top one. That's awful, but, like, I'm not sure what I can do for you. We're going to take everything, Alex. Everything I've spent my life building. I can't let that happen. I need a favor. Chris's eyes finds the floor tiles. I need to borrow your passports. My passports? Let's be a bit snarky. Why do I get the feeling I'm not gonna like this? They've taken mine and half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so... Chris is pacing now. I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe. But I need to go now before they freeze my accounts. Please, Alex. I wanted to ask if I had any other choice. And this is just straight up fraud. That being the case, Chris here does seem to be in a pretty tight bind. Like, is there really nothing else that can be done? But then additionally, it's, my passport. I might need that later. Not to mention, I believe that officially I'll be, on record as having left the country. Even if I'm, say, at work the next morning. So, see, this is what I always think about, Hold on. That sounds incriminating, given what I'm about to say. Occasionally, you think about, could I commit a crime? But then it always comes back to, how would I cover my tracks? And a lot of crimes, it's difficult to do that. This would be one of them, of, again, I'm pretty sure if I led to my passport, there'd be, documented... It would be documented that I had left the country. And I guess I could always feign that I had lost it, or it was stolen from me, and then someone just happened to use it. I mean... You gotta help family out. You climb the stairs to your bedroom, careful not to wake Sam, who is cocooned in the duvet as usual. You open the wardrobe, unlock the safe, and retrieve the passport. A sleepy voice breaks the silence. Alex, What's going on? We don't need to lie to our wife about this. Chris is downstairs. They're leaving the country, and they need my passport to do it. Sam sits bolt upright now. All thoughts of sleep gone. What? They're leaving the country? Are things really that bad? Let's see, we got either. Apparently, but they'll be fine if they can leave. Chris can take my passport and get out. We'll go with the more wishy-washy thing. Get the spouse's opinion. According to Chris, but I'm not so sure. I don't know if I really want to give up my passports. This must be tearing Sam apart. Their family has always been close. You know what I would do? Sam says, finally. But it's not my passport. I can't ask you to give it up. I mean, if families don't got your back, who does? You're right, I'll do it. Family comes first. I'll be back in a minute. You close the safe and head back downstairs to find Chris at the table fidgeting. They jump up as soon as you re-enter the kitchen. So, have you got it? Yes. Here. Good luck with everything. For the first time, Chris smiles. It's infectious. Thanks. Really appreciate this. I'll get back in touch once I'm safely out of the country. Chris takes the passport and, breathing a sigh of relief, grabs the nigh-on fluorescent suitcase and heads out into the night. You head to bed hoping you can prise some of the duvet away from Sam without waking them. Well, then hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Jeremy Donaldson is the country's most popular and trusted news anchor. For now. No, we are maintaining this man's reputation. This man's a national treasure! In Britain, I think. We're in Britain, yeah? Hopefully? Maybe? Well, it's not hopefully as in like, oh no. It turns out it was Alabama. Like, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Day 8, the fallout. Well, that's not encouraging. What's that? Of course, yes.
First of all, let's get the power on.
That makes sense.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
We'll put advance in the middle. An elegant new skin cream with a porky little twist. Yeah, sure. What's Crazy Neil? That doesn't even sound like an advertisement. Yeah. Okay. We're not gonna question the safety. What's this?
You can see they now have A and B on them. And
Gotcha.
then help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here.
Okay.
It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So, like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Okay. So we got 10 seconds.
Everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Okay, here we go.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future may hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future.
Okay.
Out with the old. Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been
That's a great image for a great image.
to several movie stars and sports personalities. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehouse.
Oh, that's the one that we weren't sure if it was safe or not.
Concerns have been raised about the product's safety, making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborgen
Oh, that's this.
have today set off to explore Dante's taint.
Wait,
The
what?
recently discovered cave system,
Oh, cave system.
was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology,
Okay, these two sound cool.
the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together, like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artist Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show Snapped Inside
The image of him vomiting. I almost wanted to use it, but you know, we don't need to ruin these people's reputation needlessly. What are we? We're the news. We're the news. That's not what we do.
With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be?
Very afraid.
I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut?
Okay.
A mega move for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Wait. Man, why can't the... Can we not automate getting the signal correct? Like, it should not be this... Why are we doing this manually still in the 21st century? Like, come on. There's gotta be a better way to go about this. And yes, I understand, given the tech and stuff, it's probably like, technically like the 80s or whatever.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan.
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become
Alan James is right.
ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting. How do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't.
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage.
Oh my God.
Pedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Ellen?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals, they're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, investigating law and order.
This is it's compelling, but it's tough to commentate over.
Tonight.
Or maybe I'm just bad at Let's Play. Who knows?
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope you too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan James, perfect timing on that commercial.
I can't understand it for you.
How are we all doing?
Meant by that.
Well, that's great. Wait, where'd the... I lost all the... Where'd the signals go? Oh, there they are. Okay, so that didn't go terribly. I love the title of that book. Alan James is right. You know it.